For more on that, let's welcome in attorney and Republican strategist Erin Elmore, Project 21 National Advisory Board member and radio host Christopher Arps, and former National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign and Principal Deputy Press Secretary at the White House, Hogan Gidley. Good morning, all. Great to have you on this Thursday morning. Hogan, we'll start with you. What do you make of that right there? Wouldn't the American people rather if that advisor said there's no stopping Joe Biden when it comes to gas prices, inflation, the baby formula crisis?
They say that too, though. They say the number one priority of this president, his laser focus is on getting inflation down, which
like they are completely out of touch with what's going on in the lives of everyday Americans.
Absolutely. And we are certainly seeing a president that does not have an America first agenda. It really appears like it's an America last agenda. And those towns you speak of, I am from one. My grandfather was a coal miner. So I see the devastation that goes on in these communities. Instead of our president saying, I'm here to help you and offer solutions and bring jobs to your small communities, he says things like learn how to code. So you see someone with an approval rating from Quinnipiac, it's 31%, and you know exactly why. And if you watch that speech yesterday, like I did, he talks about people getting cancer and oil on the windshield. Nothing makes sense. And these people that are struggling to put gas in their car, struggling to put food on the table, he offers absolutely no solutions. And honestly, it's disgraceful and sad, and we deserve better. And hopefully the midterms will show this president exactly what the American people want. And it's not more Democrats that are doing nothing but worry about, I don't know, pronouns and some sort of environmental issues that aren't impacting us on a daily basis.
Yeah, and we were just showing you this scene. You can tell they threw this trip together last minute, Chris. He's on the site of where this coal plant used to be. He's there with John Kerry, our climate czar, who flies all around the world, you know, private. Nobody knows how much he's spending, but he's tackling climate via private jet. He's
astonished that some folks, and I felt this, I was testifying in Congress yesterday, some folks seem to really struggle to let go of the status quo.
That?
Mayor Pete, we can't afford to let go of the cars that we have and just let them eat cake and buy another electric car. That's not how it works. And a lot of Americans that have to take long trips with their families because they can't afford to fly anymore are saying, okay, so if I'm going to get this electric car, just assuming I can afford it, which you can't, you have to charge these cars somewhere. I know someone that made a road trip from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, which is about 5 hours, and there was nowhere in the middle to charge their car, and they were at risk of breaking down. These cars aren't necessarily a reality for everyone, especially in this inflated economy where, you know, people are struggling, like I said earlier, to put food on the table and gas in the car. Let them eat cake. The Marie Antoinette is Pete Buttigieg through and through. And these people in Washington are so out of touch with everyday Americans. It's absolutely astonishing and mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is. Electric cars, according to Kelley Blue Book, the average cost, and this is the exact average cost, $66,000, wow. $997. How many people can afford that? Or not, she was complying with what Capitol Police told her to do, and President Biden told the world yesterday that he's got cancer. We'll have more on that in a moment. Let's welcome back in attorney and Republican strategist Erin Elmore, National Advisory Board member for Project 21 and radio host Christopher Arps, and former National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign and Principal Deputy Press Secretary at the White House, Hogan Gidley. Erin, this handcuff visual yesterday was something else. AOC protesting Roe v. Wade outside the Supreme Court. She and 17 other Democrats were arrested. She had her hands behind her back, pretending like she had handcuffs on. There's Ilhan Omar. Then she waved to the crowd that was gathered, the other protesters. Ilhan Omar, by the way, escorted herself to the where Capitol Police were directing them. AOC tweeted this out yesterday. Take a look at this. AOC claims that, there's the hand. No faking here. Putting your hands behind your back is best practice while detained, handcuffed or not, to avoid escalating charges like resisting arrest. Erin, what do you make of this?
Are you even arrested if you don't have handcuffs on? But this is such a mockery of our judicial system. Allie B. Stuckey did a funny meme of this, or funny video of this. She had her hands behind her back, and she said she was protesting low-waisted jeans. And I am with her on all of this. But truly, as funny as it is, it's very sad, because what they're doing is making a mockery of the American people and showing that they're elitist, smiling. And by the way, there was no mugshot. In lieu of mugshots, the police officers were taking selfies with these women, and they were given water. And by the way, we have January 6 detainees who are living in squalor, basically uncharged. There's a woman who's in her late 60s with cancer that was barely involved with January 6 who was just sent to prison. So basically, there are two systems of justice. We have the leftists who go outside just to make a scene, to accomplish nothing, by the way. And we have people who did nothing on January 6th who are sitting in jail suffering. So really, two systems of justice. And what does this tell the American people? If you're a liberal, far left politician, you can get away with anything. But if you're the average American and you own a gun legally, the police are going to come to your house and ask to see your guns. So really, we don't live in American Democratic Republic anymore. We live in whatever the left thinks is appropriate, and they can do whatever they want, and we have to sit back and watch.
Good point. Chris, proves to me that she's not a serious person. Ilhan Omar, AOC, you can't be taken seriously when you do something like this. By the way, yesterday she doubled down and tweeted out her arrest report. Think about this. Our 79-year-old president said that's why I and so many other people from Delaware have cancer. So the press corps says, wait a second, is there something going on that we don't know about? The White House spent the day backtracking those comments yesterday and saying that basically the president was referring to moles that he's had removed, non-malignant moles that he's had removed over the years as a result of sun exposure in his youth. But that was pretty scary to hear that yesterday.
Every time President Biden opens his mouth, everything he says is scary to hear. The gaffes just keep on coming, but I hate to say this. He's been in Washington for nearly 50 years, and basically everything he said is a lie. He said he graduated from the top of his class at law school, the outstanding political science major, all false. He has been telling lies for his whole political career. And only in Washington Democrat politics can you get rewarded and move up the ranks by being an abject failure and an absolute liar. Arrested protesting with Nelson Mandela, also a lie. So basically, every time he is speaking, falsehoods come out. And I think that's why the poll numbers in part are so low. We can't have the leader of the free world, metaphorically perhaps at this point, saying that he has cancer, and then we walk it back and say he had a few moles removed. I mean, that's why these polls are so low. I don't know what else to say at this point. He's a liar. He's been a liar. He's always a liar, and yet he's in the highest office in the land, if not the world. I'm just shaking my head and just praying that the midterms go well.
But who knew Delaware was so dangerous and it was such a rat hole? It was so dirty and gross. I thought Delaware was great. And by the way, if Delaware gave him cancer, he sure goes back there a lot every weekend from the White House instead of doing work. So why is he going back to the same place that gave him cancer, apparently?
One more thing. I think that these oil slicks are the reason why he fell off his bike.
Yes, his pedals were slippery.
He was dismounting. It's not like he was dismounting. For what could be and hopefully will be the final January 6th committee hearing in prime time once again. So we haven't seen this since the very first hearing. Chairman Benny Thompson will attend this hearing remotely because he's got COVID-19. It's expected to last about 2 hours. But just Erin Elmore, National Advisory Board member for Project 21 and radio host Christopher R. Smoking gun. We never got this smoking gun we heard so much about. You know, I'm waiting for the grassy knoll moment. Cassidy Hutchinson, you know, I interviewed Donald Trump in Bedminster the day after that testimony, and he was laughing. It was so ridiculous, this whole grabbing the steering wheel thing. Erin, to you, do you think that the January 6th committee hearing has won over any hearts and minds? Anybody have they won any converts over with these hearings?
I don't think anybody's watching it, to be very honest. And like Hogan said, you know, we are worried about gas prices and grocery store prices and inflation, not this dog and pony show. Rob, you spoke to a big curtain and a live audience. I'm surprised they don't have their own laugh track. That's how comical these hearings are. This is not a real court of law. There is no judge and jury other than biased Democrats and Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. Let's face it, this isn't a real trial. This isn't a real court. There is no cross-examination of witnesses. There are no rules of evidence. Hearsay can be admitted. And to be honest, it's pretty sad because this is where we are as a country. This is what we're going to put on to try to persuade people that Donald Trump is a bad guy. And what they're trying to do here is show the American people, as Hogan said, that the president was tied to January 6th. But I think what they really want is to prevent him from running again.
Of course.
But be careful what you wish for, because then DeSantis could be waiting in the wings.
Yeah, he is absolutely running again. Chris, there have been some massive misrepresentations of the facts and the truth during these hearings.
Chime in.
Sure.
So, Hogan, you were in Washington when Cassidy Hutchins was there, okay? I've heard from people I know in the administration that she was a very low-level, almost intern, who was very aggressive politically, trying to move up the ladder. And when Donald Trump didn't give her a job after the election, she felt perhaps slighted. So what say you?
Well, I can tell you for a fact that she absolutely wanted a job in the Trump orbit after the election was over. In fact, I'm to understand that she secured a position somewhere in that orbit. And then when they started taking a look deeper into all the people that were trying to, claim credit for Trump's accomplishments and work with him after the administration, they realized here was somebody who was, as you just pointed out, kind of a political climber and was complicit in a lot of the leaking going on in the White House. And they immediately pulled that position away from Cassidy. So there could be some motivation there, no question.
I was just hoping, I didn't expect much from the Democrats here, but I'll just say it. I walked by St. Vincent's yesterday. Ivana Trump's funeral was held there. The entire family was there. Of course, Donald Trump was there. That's Ivanka, Eric, and Don Jr.'s mom. Her funeral was yesterday. Maybe you reschedule this hearing until early next week. What's the rush? Maybe reschedule this hearing while the family grieves. So much. Great having you on this morning. Erin, Chris, Hogan. We'll do it again soon. Thank you. Christina?
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Rob.